control of Dana's will. We would have noticed now that we—
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's great spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it—
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The wedge and Lenegis are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dana.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit—
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegis was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renasalma.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling's success. However, recreating the Renasalma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. This is all happening because—
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrecht 35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitor.
A request?
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
I did.
What makes you say that?
Lenegis has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit—
You're saying the destruction—
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world?
No. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change—
Vengeance?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit.
You mean?
At this stage, ask them what you need to know.
Others?
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Faisal.
Hey!
It's no use. I think it—
You can't seriously—
To be honest,
At the very least, that being—
The spirit of Rena. But
It doesn't—
right.
There is— How the Great—
Now that—
Maybe— Let's—
What?
Oh, my apology.
Are you a Renan?
The Overseer told us to answer any questions, but be quick.
What a weird guy.
he must have meant Hevrecht 35 when he mentioned that overseer.
And what was that about subject?
There isn't anyone else around here.
Have you guys lived up here in Dake Faisal with
Yes. I couldn't tell you off. We regular—
Why are you all—
Originally, this station was—
We heard that the facility—
Oh, it was terrible.
And you've been working for
Well, At first we thought that
What do you mean?
the Helgen, as long as they don't do...
Which would explain why she...
I haven't been... In addition, it's a pretty sophisticated... I have to...
But aren't the Helgen...
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helgen.
You act like this didn't affect...
I mean, sure.
Hevric 30...
Who can say?
Don't you want to go?
No way. After all this, things are going just... Not that it'll be around...
That said,
Thank you for answering our questions. Can we talk to you?
Sure.
Please, tell us what you...
You mean the over...
Well, for starters...
Where else? From Rena?
From Rena? What?
Of course not. There's really no such thing as Renans in the first...
excuse me?
Oh, I thought the
Apparently not.
Please,
Well, in a nutshell, the Renans were originally created from Danans by the Helganquil.
but if that's true, then that would mean...
There aren't. But there are Helganquil. That's what the name literally means in their language.
But what need could they possibly have to create a whole new race?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helganquil are on the verge of extinction. In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all died. They gathered Danans who had an affinity for astral... That's why we, as their descendants, can all cast arts.
Let me get this straight. Are you saying Renans were originally created from Danans that the Helganquil kidnapped?
Wait, that explains why almost nobody can use Astro Arts on Dana now.
Helganquil technology is truly amazing. They have these tiny machines.
Enough!
How can you...
I guess But if you ask me, if it meant their hands anyway, the Helganquil are the real Ren. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on.
I see.
Does he really...
Dohalim.
Just when I think...
Then let's hope this is our last revelation for a while. Do you know anything about a
If you mean the first plan from 300...
Yes. It was to use Lenegis to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to...
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. Second, we had to figure out how to...
I take it the solutions to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection.
We have a winner. However, the first... the reason... For the next plan, we tried to recreate To amend that, we set our sights...
And the crown...
Correct. A new song. It was such tremendously...
So that's what the purpose of that room...
What about the flower that...
Flower? As I'm sure you've known...
Hevric 35 mentioned...
It is. Are we done talking?
He talks like the potential...
You've got to remember...
It feels like our whole...
Seriously,
Let's take a moment. I know all of this.
Agreed.
Everything that's happened.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Then the Helganquil created the Renan.
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Danans.
Either way, I think it's fair to say, why don't we...
That's a good... If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, then we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dana on the line, but Rena too. So let's go ahead. You sure you...
I could ask...
I figured
I'll go along.
Sounds good.
Everyone's just gone their own way, huh?
Yeah, let's hit up each spot.